take the two pins like this, rub them together just a little bit, like that, and it links. Now, you have to go slow, otherwise this stuff doesn't work right? That's not real. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you do it, but it looks good when you do it slow. It really does. It looks better that way. This one, it's not on there yet, right? It's not on there. You have to snap your fingers. That's how the magic happens. You snap your fingers. Because all you need, legitimately, all you need is two standard big safety pins. That's it, okay? And really, I lost my safety pins, and so I had to like re-find these and remake these and redo these just today as I was getting ready for this. Here's what happens. This pin is normal. This pin has been worked on. Basically, these are made out of the spring steel. And so what I did is I took away the springiness of this one. It's actually open right now, okay? I bent it. I bent the pin just enough. Let's see if I can get this in focus here. Come on, big guy. My camera. Okay. I bent it and I worked it. And I literally went, and I bent it like over bent, so that you want it to fall, you want it to rest right behind this big head here. So that way, here's the backside view of it. I don't know how well you can see this. Now you can take your other pin and you weave it through. I'm going to do this kind of close to the camera here so you can get a good look at this. You weave it through, and just for one little millisecond, it passes down there, and you link them. Okay. Same thing happens here for the unlink. Just one little second, and you have them melt right apart. Okay, now obviously, you don't want to show this end off. That's the dirty work right there, right? One last time, that last phase of this, you set it on like that. Right now they're not linked for sure. Pull it off on this side. Now it is linked, but it doesn't necessarily look like it. You turn this over, and it links automatically like that. Okay. This is a cool trick, you guys. This is a great little trick. So one more time, I'm going to do this over the shoulder so you can see my hand motions a little bit. So we're here. The first one, right here. It's linked now. Pull them apart. Same thing here. We're gonna rub just a little bit. That's just all magic fluff. Rub just a little bit. Unlink right there. Pull them apart slowly. Hold this one nice and horizontal. That's the gaffed one, that's the special one. Put the normal one on. Pull it off on this side, and now when you come back, it goes inside of that gap that you created, okay? Here's what I do. I snap my fingers, and at the same time that I snap, this thumb is gonna re-lock this pin into its normal place. Like that. Okay, it's just a very simple move, but I'm actually going to twirl the pin around so that it like flies on. Okay. You can do it in all sorts of different ways. So we're here, it goes on, and you can go slowly like this, like if you go, and it looks like it falls right on. That's a nice move too, right? Basically, you're going to take one safety pin, you're going to bend it until it lines up just with the back, just with the fat head of the pin. So it's like that. It still looks fine, right? It still looks totally fine from the front. Have fun with this one. Keep that secret for a little bit longer than some of the other ones. Keep this secret. It's so good. It's so fun. Have fun with it. Show it around. So I realized last night, I lost sleep over this. I realized that my brain has been working on survival mode since this whole thing started about 2 weeks ago. My brain has been trying to cover all of the bases that are essential for survival for me and for my family, to keep us safe and fed and healthy and all of those things. So, you know, it was shopping lists, like when we need to go to the store, what do we need to get? Do we have enough soap? Do we have enough toilet paper? Of course we have enough toilet paper. We were fine before this whole thing started. Figuring out homeschooling for my kids, where do those resources come from? Which resources are good? Which resources aren't really worth their time? Is there anything from the school that we need to be paying attention to? Any of that kind of stuff. How do I keep my family safe and healthy? How do I keep myself safe and healthy? I've been operating on survival mode for the last 2 weeks, and while I've been posting these videos, how to magic things, it's mostly been a distraction for myself. It hasn't been deeply productive work. It hasn't been really artistic work. It hasn't been the kind of work that I normally do. Normally I don't hesitate to grab a book off of my shelf and read it and work on a new trick, work on a new script, work on developing a new piece for my show, something like that. And I haven't been able to focus on any of that stuff because all of that seems non-essential right now. I think essential and non-essential is a good way of, it's kind of the words that we've been using in a lot of areas of our lives right now. And, but I've also struggled to find victories. While we have a full pantry and we're having good meals every day and we have enough food and we have enough, our finances are going to be fine, and our kids are doing some school stuff and all of that, lots of little victories there, but nothing that's like really normally fulfilling for me. And it occurred to me that all of us are being forced into this quarantine situation where there's this new normal, and we're having to navigate a new normal. And in order to navigate a new normal, we have to change. We have to get bent out of shape a little bit. We have to do things differently. We have to buy differently. We have to spend our money differently. We have to hang out with our kids differently. All of those things, we have to change in order to adapt and to make magic. And we've been doing fine. All in all, my family and I, we've been doing fine. It occurred to me last night, and this was another part of losing sleep, this little safety pin trick that I showed you last week is a good example of changing in order to do something else. In order to do this trick, in order to do it, you must you must alter one of the pins permanently. This pin is normal, this pin is the same. This pin has been worked on. This is the gaffed pin. This is the pin that, when I open it, it only opens this far. In order to make this pin, I'll give you a close-up on this, in order to make this pin and do the things that it needs to do, I had to destroy it, I had to change it, I had to alter it. These pins were incapable of doing the magic without the change. And so the question became, right now we're being forced out of our comfort zone. We're being forced to change. What is it? What is the magic moment that we're going to come up with as individuals, as a society, as artists, that is going to come out of this change that wasn't possible before we altered it? In order to do this, you have to destroy a pin. What's going to come out of our changes here? That's the question that I found myself asking. It's not a very big trick. But right now, this little piece might be the most important piece of magic that I do for myself. I think finding a little victory, and believe me, I've known how to do this trick for 20 years. Understanding the meaning behind destroying a pin was a small victory. There are, most of the time when I'm writing, when I'm developing things for my audiences, I am finding these little nooks and crannies of the magic and finding ways to apply them and use them in illustrations and metaphors and ways of connecting with audiences and things like that. Right now, I don't have an audience. Right now, I'm not asking anybody to pick a card or to memorize anything or to think of a word or think anything. I'm not doing any of that. And so understanding the simple metaphor of destroying something in order to make a beautiful moment possible, that was worth losing sleep over, I think. Can't wait. I can't wait to see what kind of magic we come out with. And I'm not talking about magic in terms of like new tricks. I don't care. I don't care. There are hundreds of thousands of tricks on the market right now. And actually in the last 2 weeks, there have been more tricks released. So many magicians are publishing material in order to, you know, to change their revenue stream, in order to make a buck on selling a trick or their notes or their book or whatever, because we can't perform. And I get it. I totally understand that. I'm talking about magic that is deeper. It's the magic of hugs. It's the magic of being stopped dead in your tracks by a sunset. It's the magic of being able to look up at night through overcast clouds and know that there are still stars out there. When we know that there are still stars, even though it's gloomy and cloudy and hazy, that's the kind of magic I'm talking about. Real magic. The magic of a hug. The magic of tickling a 3-year-old and having your entire day change because of her giggles. That's the kind of magic that I'm looking forward to discovering. That's coming out of this whole situation of the coronavirus and the quarantine and the social distancing and all of that kind of stuff. We have all gotten bent out of shape. We have all been forced into something else, into a different form. And soon, I think we're going to understand what good is going to come out of this. I'm looking forward to that.